I hope that all of you had a successful celebration, remembrance of Srila Guru Maharaj for his disappearance day, although the disappearance day is not our happy part, but remembering Guru Maharaj, of course, is our happy part. Not only happy, but essential in our devotional life, the very foundation of the whole Western world. All right, so I bring out my little notebook. So first of all, I can ask any question from anybody before we begin. Any question from anybody?
No.
Okay, if you have, just unmute your microphone so I can hear you. Okay. Then, Indumukhi Devidas has joined us. And Rupanuga Prabhu from Australia, Kat from Australia. And we're about ready.
Dandavat.
Dandavat. Whose Dandavat is this? Who gave Dandavat? Rukmini? Oh, Indumukhi.
Dandavat, Indumukhi, Dandavat.
Dandavat. All right. So here we are, we're 5 minutes in. High time, everybody's got their shoes off, sitting down in front of the deity of... Where's our deity? Where are we gathering? Mostly we're gathering in a temple or somewhere where there's a deity. Okay, Navadip, because the Back to Basics has its home in Navadip. So the Navadip Chaitanya-caritāmṛta of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. So
you are our deity, is he? Guru Maharaj said, Lord lives more in the devotee's heart. You are our deity here.
Okay, Rāmānanda, time to silence your microphone. All right. Jai Saprika Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandhava Govinda Sundar Ki Jai. Oh, the meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. Oh, that's very clever.
I'm testing it. We're testing.
Testing, all right. So Govinda Nandini's been doing some homework on the technical sides by the request of the devotees to make the broadcasts more public as well as for ourselves. But the public is going to have a long way to catch up. Ante Praneshwari Didi, you've been keeping a track of all the numbers of the classes. I think we've been through 27, you told me, is it? Or 28 by now, perhaps?
Well, actually, today we go to 30.
Oh my goodness. So I am surprised too, but we are just at the basics of Back to Basics, and lots of things. We said that we'll begin our programs with the regular, or the kind of the minimum, if you like, but the key pranam verses, which is short, which we all know, and we'll begin our program with the 4 Chatushloki. So this will be our regular kind of vandanam at the beginning, so that it helps put it in our head. And then we're going to go on to something new today, unless you have a question, some topic that you'd like me to just catch up on. All right, so the verses that we're going to say to Guru, to Vaishnava, to Mahaprabhu, and then what other verse are we going to say, Praneshwari?
Bhagavad Bhaktita.
Okay, we can say that. And any other verse?
You said color dosha.
Oh, we can say that, yes. Okay, so that's good. That's 5 verses. And then the 4 Chatushloki of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so let us try, and we'll have a breath between each one. And you've all got your notes, because like me, you've all got a notepad with my morning face just for you. You've all got a notepad to cheat from if you forget the words. Anyway, we're meant to be remembering the words with their meanings for each of these we've gone through. So first of all, without further ado, to Guru, Om Jnana. So together, slowly. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnanan Jana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Then to the Vaishnavas together, Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Then to Mahaprabhu, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurataje Namaha. Then Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam. Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam Ityutsrijya Vidher Api Kainkaryang Krishna Padaik Ashrayatvang Sharana Gatihi. Then Kaler Dosha, this age of Kali, together. Kaler Dosha Nidhe Rajang Asti Hyeka Mahan Gunaha Kirtanad Eva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Tarang Vrajet. And then, four key verses of Bhagavad Gita, starting with Sarvadharman. So, together. Oh, no, there's a shake of the head. What's Chinmoy Dev Prabhu? What do you say?
Aham Sarvasya.
Huh?
Aham Sarvasya.
Oh, you're competing with Krishna, are you? Aham Sarvasya, you're right. Okay. Not Chinmoy Dev's competing with Krishna. He's letting us understand. The first of the verses is Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo. Okay. Then together. Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Mata Savang Pravartate Iti Matva Bhajante Mam Buddha Bhava Samanvitaha. Then the devotees' interaction together. Machchita Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. Then the next verse. Evam Sattata Yuktanam Bhajatang Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mam Upayanti Te. Then the last of the Chatushloki. Tesham Evanukampatam Aham Agyana Jangtamaha Nashayam Yatva Bhavashto Jnana Deepena Bhashvata. But Rukmini Devi Dasi, I did not see your lips moving. You were chanting by mind. Is it?
Sorry, Maharaj. I had a problem with my computer today, and I've been not able to open the mantras.
Oh, okay. What we'll maybe try to do is to put them all onto one sheet or one page, and then we can sort of put that up. That'll be helpful. All right, for many devotees, these are very like, not ordinary, but I mean, they flow off the tongue, and our hope was if we'll flow them off the tongue, but also flow them off the heart, because with their meaning. This is what we've been doing in some of the previous back to basics. All right, so let's today come to something which is very dear to Guru Maharaj, of course, very dear to all the devotees, but it's the part of the Rāmānanda-saṁvād. And Guru Maharaj is recognized for many qualities, but one is that the ontological progress of what is the gradation upwards and upwards and upwards in spiritual life. And the Rāmānanda-saṁvād are the talks between Ramananda Ray and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the banks of the Godavari at a place called Kobur in South India, south of Puri. And Rupanuga Prabhu is with us today. He was with us in Kobur just recently before just before the virus came to change everybody's life, we were there in Kabul at this very place. But after all of the low to less low to middle to, this is devotional service, and then the steps going up. After all of this, then Mahaprabhu is so pleased with Ramananda Ray. He's utilizing him in seva for expressing what is the situation of the material world and the spiritual world, the situation, levels of consciousness, if you like. And then Mahaprabhu asks just some one-liner questions, just a one-liner, and Ramananda Ray replies with one-liners. So this is one-liners. Now, not necessarily we're going to learn like a parrot, as it were, but it's interesting. Just by reading them, we automatically learn, because they're actually quite interesting. Not only interesting, quite topical, like to the point. They're to the point and help us to appreciate what is Krishna consciousness and what is valuable. So after those, so we're on Madhya-līlā of Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, chapter 8, which is the Rāmānanda-saṁvād. And we're going to start at around text 242. Now, what I can do.
Did you say chapter 8, 242?
Yep. Chapter 8, 242. And what I want to do is I'll put it into the box. It's the whole of the chapter. I'll see if I can drop it into the box.
I'm kind of looking at Vedabase right now, but like the first sloka that Mahaprabhu accepts is verse 67.
No, Prabhu. This is what we're going through now, are the short one-liner questions after all of this.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Yeah. So I have put it in there, and if you do open, that's the whole of the Madhya-līlā. If you do go there, it's on page number, good question. It's on page number something. Page number 1953. That document you've got is 6,957 pages long. So that'll be helpful if you want to follow. But you can follow or just listen. It's not that you have to follow. Oh yes, or the Vedabase. Yes, go to the Vedabase. Okay. So first of all, this is from Chaitanya-charitamṛta. So let us give our respect to Sri Chaitanya-charitamṛta ki jai and Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, the writer of Chaitanya-charitamṛta ki jai. And actually, I know we gave Omagyantam Randasya, but let us give ki jai, jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, jai Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, jai Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai, and jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai, Shri Rupanupad Guru Bhaga ki jai. We do want to remember them all. And I didn't give my obeisances at the beginning except with a casual dandavat. So all devotees, Vancha Kalpatarubhischa, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And we've come together. I think we've come together on the veranda, the second floor veranda of the Sevak Bhavan beside Govinda Kund in Navadip, because that's where we are. We're from all different places here. So the middle place, the central place is Navadip, and we used to hold these back-to-back to basics courses there. So that's where we are. Now we're going to hear a little bit from Sri Chaitanya-charitamṛta, and after all of the high topics that they'd been talking about, higher, then Mahaprabhu was so pleased, and in verse 241, he said, you and I, that's Ramananda Ray and I, shall remain together at Jagannath Puri. We shall pass our time together in joy, talking about Krishna and his pastimes. Now, we just said a verse, Machita Madhgata Prana, Bodhayanta Parasparam. That verse is saying the joy the devotees have to share topics of the Lord. All right. Ettaboli duhe nija nija kaja gela. So saying this, the two of them went to attend to their own duties. Then in the evening, so all night they'd been talking. Then they'd said all these high things, they did their duties. Then in the evening, Ramananda Ray returned to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now text number 243. Okay, yes. Thus they met time and time again, sitting in a secluded place and jubilantly discussing devotional service by the question and answer process. Then Prabhu Puche, the Lord inquired, and Ramananda gave answers. In this way, they were engaged in discussion throughout the night. Okay, now the questions and answers. So really, by the way, there is a book, and I am sitting there with Guru Maharaj and with other devotees. There were quite a few of us there that day. And Guru Maharaj heard about the book. Somebody was saying, oh, in a book by Srila Prabhupada called Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers, Srila Prabhupada says something. And Guru Maharaj, he stopped immediately and said, what name? The devotee saying, Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. And then Guru Maharaj, like turning his head a little bit as he's thinking. And he said, perfect answers? Yes, this we can say, but perfect questions? And then he's asking, who is giving the questions? He said, perfect questions may not be, but perfect answers we can agree. But with Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Ray, here we can say perfect questions, perfect answers. So Prabhu Kohe, Kon Vidya, Vidya Madhya Sara. And for many of you, you know all these words, of which learning, which knowledge, Vidya, Vidya Loy, which knowledge, amongst that knowledge, which is the greatest? Vidya Madhya Sara. Okay, then, so amongst all types of education is got in the translation, which is the most important? Then Raya Kohe, Ramananda replied, no education is important other than the transcendental devotional service of Krishna. So Raya Kohe, Krishna Bhakti Vina Vidya Nahi Ara. Okay, so see if we can more or less remember the questions and answers. So of what education, of all types of education, which is the most important? No education is important other than the transcendental devotional service of Lord Krishna. All right, next question is, out of all glorious activities, which is the most glorious? Ramananda replied, that person who is reputed to be a devotee of Lord Krishna enjoys the utmost fame and glory. And in Bengali, because we're here, Kirti Gana Madhye Jivera Kon Boro Kirti. So Kirti, glory. So Kirti Gana Madhye Jivera Kon Boro Kirti. Ramananda replied, Ramananda Ray replied, Krishna Bhakta Boliya Jahara Hoya Khyati. Okay, that's got some homework words in there. Okay, so we've had what is the best education, what is the most glory of the glorious activities, and now, long purport by Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada's purport in this Chaitanya-caritāmṛta is based on is based on the Sri Chaitanya-charitamṛta commentary of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And he mentions this at the beginning and repeatedly throughout the text. He's referring, saying Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments. All right, next question. So this is the third question. Mahaprabhu asking, of the many capitalists who possess great riches, who is the topmost? I mean, what a beautiful question to ask. And people are going to say, Bill Gates, Donald Trump, somebody, whoever. But Ramananda Ray replied, he who is richest in love for Radha and Krishna is the greatest capitalist. How beautiful. So the question was, who amongst all of the many capitalists, who possess the greatest riches? Sampattira madhye jivera, madhye jivera, kon sampatti gani. And Ramananda Ray replied, Radha Krishna prema jara se bharodhani, the greatest treasure, greatest wealth. Greater capitalist is got here. Okay? Next, dukkha madhya. You all know what dukkha means, unhappiness. And sukha means happiness. So that gunshot, by the way, is to scare the birds because everyone's planted rice. So don't worry, it's not people being shot, we hope. Okay, dukkha madhya. Kon dukkha hoya gurutara. And gurutara means most painful. Then Ramananda Ray replied, Krishna bhakta viraha, vina dukkha nahi dekhi para. Of all kinds of distress, what is the most painful is what Mahaprabhu said. Dukkha madhya, kon dukkha hoya gurutara. And Ramananda replied, apart from separation from the devotee of Krishna, I know of no unbearable unhappiness. So Krishna bhakta viraha vina dukkha nahi dekhi para. So what is the greatest distress? It's not having your car stolen or anything else. It is separation from the devotee of Krishna. This is Ramananda Ray, so very substantial. And remember, Mahaprabhu is speaking through Ramananda Ray. So Mahaprabhu is speaking the question, but giving the reply. Ramananda Ray repeatedly says, you are just making my mouth move. All right, so the greatest unhappiness is separation from the devotees. Do we want to do revision? Revision so far? All right.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yes, please. Okay. Dayavati Devidasi, I think you know the answers, the questions and the answers. You look confident. Would you like to say to us, Dayavati, the first one, the first question?
Maharaj, I'm very sorry. I'm driving and I'm trying to catch, but my mind is fighting with the traffic.
Okay, you please pay full attention to the traffic. And in the background, you can have us. Please do. I mean, driving is a responsible duty. It's not a video game. I know. All right.
Dandavad.
Dandavad, Dandavad. Okay, any volunteers? If you can, questions and answers in order. If not, just catch what we've done. So yes, first volunteer, Chinmoy Defu, because the first one's always the easiest.
Yeah, I get the easy one.
You get the easy one. Yes.
What's the greatest education?
Exactly. And Praneshwari, what's the answer to the question?
I don't have it, Maharaj.
Okay. Oh, yes, Dayavati. Oh, you're clapping. I thought you were volunteering. Answer to the question, yes, Rukmini.
Bhakti.
No education is important other than the transcendental devotional service of Krishna.
Right. No other education is important. How strong Ramananda Ray is saying. Okay, Ramananda Prabhu, another question that Mahaprabhu asked.
He asked about Kirti Madhya, the fame. The fame or
Oh,
Kirti.
fame. Who is the most famous? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Who is the most famous? Rukmini Devi Rasi. Who is the most famous?
The Lord.
No, amongst the Jivera. Who is the most famous amongst the Jivas? But okay, you get an answer. You still get your evening prasadam. Don't worry. But amongst the Jivas, amongst the people, who is the most famous?
Can I answer?
The devotee.
The devotee of
Love for
Krishna.
Radha Krishna.
Devotee, yes, it specifically mentions Radha Krishna.
Yeah.
Right, good point. Okay, another question from anybody. Yes, Chinmoy Prabhu.
I'm not sure if the next one was the greatest capitalist. Was that the next one?
Well, it may not be the next one, but it was the last one, wasn't it? The greatest capitalist.
Oh.
I think. Now I'm losing track.
No, because the sadness.
Oh, sadness. Okay, well, there's the other one. Who is the saddest person? Who is the greatest capitalist? Okay, Praneshwari, who is the greatest capitalist? But you're muted, yes.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, of the many capitalists who possess great riches, who is the topmost? And
yes.
he replied, he who is richest in love for Radha and Krishna is the greatest capitalist.
Right. Krishna, Radha Krishna Prema, he's answering. Prema of Radha and Krishna. Excellent. Then I can answer who is the saddest, because some questions we have to answer from our own experience. The saddest person is those who are in separation of the devotees. Oh dear. And not only that, Ramananda Ray says, apart from that sadness, I know of no other sadness. Like that he's writing there, if I'm not mistaken. Apart from separation from the devotee of Krishna, I know of no unbearable unhappiness. Just see. All right, good job. So is anybody cheating and looking to see if we missed any question out so far? I think we got them all, right? Let's go on. Let's go on. Now the question comes of all kinds of distress. No, we've been there. Now, next question. Mukta Madhya. Okay, Mukta Madhya. Among the liberated. Konjiva Mukta Kori Mani. Mukta Konjiva. So, out of all liberated persons, who should be accepted as the greatest? Then the answer comes, Krishna Prema Jara. Those that have Krishna Prema, say Mukta Shiromani. Say Mukta Shiromani, the topmost liberated souls. So he who has love for Krishna has attained the topmost liberation. All right. So Krishna heard my sadness answer to Mahaprabhu's question. And he's just sent me a devotee here, Paramananda Prabhu, just arrived, to grace us, to join us with some illumination of our back to basics. And he's arrived out of the dark. Here is Paramananda Prabhu.
Paramananda Prabhu, Dandavats, you're relieving Maharaj from great sadness with your association.
Because we're reading that section, the one-line questions, the one-line answers. This is the perfect questions, perfect answers. Mahaprabhu to Ramananda Ray. All right. Oh, our light is going down. Bye. Yes.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? Who should be?
Okay, yes, the question is, among the liberated souls, of all liberated persons, who should be accepted as the greatest? And Ramananda replied, who has love for Krishna has attained the topmost liberation. Krishna prema jara say mukta shiromani. So who has love for Krishna means love for Krishna. It's not, oh, I love Krishna. It's Krishna prema, what we hear about all the extreme extreme heart love of Krishna, Krishna prema. Some words just don't translate into English, do they? Or into probably any language. Okay, next one. So try to remember some of these. Among all songs, which song is to be considered the actual religion of the living entity? Gana madhye kona gana jivera nija dharma. Jivera nija dharma. Of the jivas, his own dharma. So Gana Madhya Kona Gana Jivera Nija Dharma. Then Ramananda Ray replied, Radha Krishnera Prema Kelly Jai Gitera Marma. The answer, that song describing the loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna is superior to all other songs. So, I don't know if they still have the top 10. When I was young, they used to have a top 20, top 10, and all this, that, and the other. So now we can correct them and tell them what is the real top of the charts. Top of the charts is songs about Radha Krishna that describe the loving affairs of Radha Krishna. Okay, we've remembered the song, we've remembered the question, we've remembered the answer. We're asking, I'll say, okay, Paramananda, we're asking each other afterwards the questions and answers. You'll fail, man. No, you won't fail. You're with us. We're all in the same boat together. We're going to help each other. This is Paramananda's humility. Okay, next question. Out of all auspicious and beneficial activities, which is the best for the living entity? I mean, really, such perfect questions, right to the point. And what does Ramananda reply? The only auspicious activity is association with the devotees. Just see. So, Shreyo Madhye Kona Shreya Jivera Hoya Sara. This word Sara, chief, main, principle. So Shreya Madhye, among beneficial activities, Kon Shreya, which Shreya? Jivera, of the jivas, Hoya Shara, which is the greatest. Then the answer, Krishna Bhakta Sangha Vina, and Vina means accept that. Shreya Nahi Ara, auspicious activities, not any other. Krishna Bhakta Sangha Vina Shreya Nahi Ara. So, what questions did we have just now since you came? Okay, I'm putting Paramananda on the spot. We just had, I think, 4 questions more. Who can say just the questions?
The most painful distress?
Oh, that was the last of the previous ones.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. Are you right?
No.
It actually comes up twice, right?
No, I have it as number 4. Yes, so you're right. The next one would be the greatest liberated person.
Okay, then I see you're reading it. So now I'm going to ask Rukmini, who's memorizing it.
The best song.
The best song. Okay, another one, Dayavati.
What brings happiness? Isn't it?
I wasn't here.
The most happiness. As soon as one came, Prabhu Ramananda, I thought that was a question.
This was the answer. This was the answer to what brings greatest unhappiness. I know no other unhappiness more unbearable than the separation of the devotees. So this, okay, you're right. Right and wrong means that is the implication of the answer. But we had 4 more questions. So we had the greatest song, another one.
Which is the best activity?
Right, of auspicious, of good things to do. What is the best activity to do? Chinmoy Prabhu?
Who's the greatest liberated person?
Right, the best song, the greatest liberated person, and the best activity. But we had one more. We just said 4 questions. What's the missing question, Praneshwari?
Association with the devotees.
No, what's the question? The missing question.
I don't think we did.
Which is the best for the living entity out of all auspicious and beneficial activities?
Gana Madhya, the singing.
I think we did
liberated
3.
Persons.
Yeah.
Songs. And the one before that? Oh, songs. So we only had 3 questions.
Yeah.
We only had 3 questions. Okay, so well done. So that was a trick question to ask for the 4th one when we only covered 3. All right. Oh, the greatest capitalist. But what number?
That was number 3.
Oh, we went through 4 verses, you see. So now we're done. So Shreyo Madhya, the auspicious activities. Okay, so the next verse, sorry, you see, I'm thinking we'd gone through 4 more questions. Kaha smarana jiva koribe anukshan. What should all living entities constantly remember? Then Ramananda Ray replied, the chief objects of remembrance are always the Lord's holy name, qualities, and pastimes. His reply, Krishna nama guna lila pradhana smarana. Pradhana smarana, most important remembrance items. Okay, so that will be our 4th one out of the 4 and 4 is what is the most important thing to constantly remember? All right, more questions. And there aren't so many, so please don't think it's not long, but so important. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then inquired, out of many types of meditation, which is required for all living entities? Out of many kinds of meditation, which is required for all living entities? Dhyaya madhye jivera kartavya kondhyana. Kartavya, the duty of the kartavya kondhyana. Which of these is the to be done? Dhyan, meditation. And Ramananda Ray replied, the chief duty of every living entity is to meditate upon the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Radha Krishna Parambuja Dhyana Pradhana. Radha Krishna Parambuja Dhyana. All right. Another question. Where should the living entity live, abandoning all other places? Where should the living entity live, abandoning all other places? And the answer, Braja Bhumi Brindavana Jaha Lila Rasa. They should live in Braja Bhumi, Brindavan, the place of the Rasa Lila. The holy place known as Brindavan or Braja Bhumi, where the Lord performed his rasa dance. And don't forget, everywhere Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj Gurudev telling us that Vrindavan is not a physical location. You cannot buy a train ticket to go there because there are no trains. Oh, there are trains actually now, again. So are you in the... Oh, okay. Just can you say how many more questions are there? We're on text now. We're on text number 255. How many more questions are there?
255 will be the next, and that's Oh, okay. Then
How many?
another one?
No, how many more are there? Where's the end of them?
3. 3 more.
Okay, so yeah, there are only 3 more. So let us continue. Shravana madhye jivara konshreshta shravana. So these same words are coming up. So which is the most important thing to hear about? Shravana madhye jivara konshreshta shravana. Then Radha Krishna prema keli karna rasayana. So of all answering, hearing about the loving affairs between Radha and Krishna is the most pleasing to the ear. Karna rasayana. Radha Krishna prema keli karna rasayana. And keli means that the play, so their loving affairs. Radha Krishna prema keli. So of all the topics to hear about, what is the best? All right, you're memorizing all these, right? We're going to go to the end of the questions and answers. So just another couple more to memorize. Upasyera madhye, objects of worship. Upasyera madhye, kon upasya pradhana. Which object of worship is the best? Shreshta, oh yes, we can put this down now because the sun is going to come. We're getting the sun from Australia. Okay, Shreshta upasya, Yugala Radha Krishna Nama. There's an answer. So Mahaprabhu asked, of all objects of worship, which is the chief? Rāmānanda replied, the chief worshipable object is the holy name of Radha and Krishna, the Hare Krishna mantra. And saying Yugala Radha Krishna Nama. And Yugala generally means they're referring to the young couple. Radha Krishna. Nama, the names. So Shreshta Upasya, the most worshipable thing, the names of the couple of Radha and Krishna. I mean, what wonderful questions and answers. And this is why we're going through this, because it's the whole foundation for us. Next question. What is the destination of those who desire liberation and of those who desire sense gratification? So mukti, bhukti, vanche je, kahang duhara gati. That's the question. Then stavara deha, deva deha, jaiche avastiti. So stavara deha means the non-moving living entities like the trees. Deva deha, deha means body, and deva deha means the gods' bodies, the devas' bodies, demigods say. Jaiche avastiti, they will be situated. So those who attempt to merge into the existence of the Supreme Lord, which is basically wanting mukti, liberation, will have to accept a body like that of a tree. And those who are overly inclined towards sense gratification, which is bhukti, enjoyment, will attain the bodies of demigods. So there. And is that the last question? And then Rāmānanda Ray replied, those who are devoid of all transcendental rasa, tastes, are like the crows that suck the juice from the bitter fruits of the nimba tree of knowledge. Whereas those who enjoy rasas are like the cuckoos who eat the buds of the mango tree of love of Godhead. Rāmānanda Ray concluded, the unfortunate empiric philosophers taste the dry process of philosophical knowledge, whereas the devotees regularly drink the nectar of love of Krishna. Therefore, they are most fortunate of all. In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Ray passed the full night relishing the rasa of Krishna Katha, topics about Krishna, while they were chanting, dancing, and crying. the night ended. And here you can see, while we are discussing these things, the night has ended. And there, the morning sky has come. And every day is different. There are the rice fields. You can see the rice has grown another few millimeters since last Sunday. Huh? Well, since Sunday, maybe, okay, a few centimeters since Sunday. It's speeding along there. In these last few minutes, see how much brighter it's come. Oh, well, actually, we've been asking the questions to those who were seeing, but we have also Govindanandini, Rūpanuga Prabhu, Cat. Cat, do you remember any of the questions and the answers out of the last series?
Yes, I do.
Oh, Cat, very confident. Give us 2 questions and 2 answers, can you?
So what is, oh my goodness, now my brain's going weird. Okay, so what's the association? Who's the best, what's the best association to keep? And that would be the association of the devotees.
That would be, but Chinmoy Dev Prabhu is shaking his head in some way. Which question is that? Well, in another way, because it's saying, what is the most unhappy thing? And the most unhappy thing he's saying is the separation from devotees. So by inverse, right?
Okay, that was reversed.
And I think also there was, what's the most auspicious activity, I think, was also that.
Yeah, which is the best.
That's right. The most auspicious activity. Yes.
Hridoy Prabhu just joined us. I see you. Maybe you've been there all the time, hiding from the questions and answers, right? Dandavat Prabhu. Okay, Kat. And the second question.
Oh my gosh. So who is the most like the most wealthy? Who is the most
biggest capitalist? Yes.
Capitalist, yes.
You're a business lady. You have your own business. Now, what's the answer?
Okay, so the biggest capitalist would be. Oh my goodness! I think it's so easy, but it's not when you're on the spot.
Sorry for putting you on the spot, but you're with the family, don't worry.
I'm getting ready for work, so, you know, I'm listening while I'm coordinating so many things, but I am definitely listening.
Okay, we know you're listening. Wonderful.
So the answer to that question, it's not, is it the Lord or is it the devotee? The devotee.
But the devotee who has what?
Who has
love for Radha and Krishna.
Yes, who has love for Radha and Krishna.
Okay, good one. All right.
Thank you.
We did put you on the spot a bit, Kat.
I know, but it is going in. But it's very good to be asked because it definitely gets cemented.
A little reminder, yes.
Yeah,
okay, Kat, wonderful. Have a good day at work also.
So much. Great to be here.
And while we're in Australia, Rūpanuga Prabhu, we can't let you escape without telling us one question and one answer. Are you available? Ray's phone. This is Rūpanuga, Ray. Oh, hiding from us for the moment. Okay, no problem. No problem. Brindarani Devirasi, any question and answer from you? Oh, here's Rūpanuga coming to show his form. One question, Rūpanuga.
I have none.
No, not a question from you, a question that Mahaprabhu asked to Ramananda Ray. No. Okay, no problem. No, okay, no problem. Be happy listening. Brindarani Didi. One question, if you were able to hear some of the questions and answers while looking after your family.
Yeah. Who is the most liberated?
Of all liberated persons, who is the topmost? And what is the answer?
The answer, who is the most liberated? I knew the answer and I forgot.
No, Chinmoy Prabhu.
Who has love for Krishna or is a devotee of Krishna?
I think, yes. Has anybody got it right in front of them, the exact wording? I think it's, who has Radha, Krishna Prema, I think in that one who said Krishna Prema only. But means Radha Krishna Prema, of course, for us. Okay, thank you very much. All is good. Who didn't we ask? Ramananda already replied some. Indumukhi Devidasi. One question. I see your prayerful hands like this.
Thank you, Maharaj. Dandavad, no question. Es que no hablo inglés, pero me gusta mucho poder escucharlo y es una misericordia estar aquí con ustedes. Muchas gracias, Dandavad.
Okay, and that's Dayavati Didi. She told us she doesn't really understand English, so she wasn't sure of the question, right?
Yes, but she said that she likes to listen to the classes, regardless of understanding or not some things, but she sends her Dandava.
And you can also please say to Indumukhi, we also get that feeling in other languages, and like especially in Chinese. When I hear the Chinese talking Krishna Katha, I just think how happy Gurudev and Guru Maharaj will be with that. You can tell that to Indumukhi in Spanish.
Indumukhi Maharaj dice que así sucede con el idioma, que incluso escuchando Maharaj escuchando a los devotos hablando en chino sobre las glorias del Señor Krishna es algo que uno puede absorber y que pues es gratificante, les da a uno mucha felicidad.
All right.
Muchas gracias, Dandavad, Maharaj.
Dandavad. Muchas gracias. You are welcome. De nada. De nada.
Thank you.
All right. All right. And Govinda Nandini Didi, if you wish, you can pop in with a question and answer. Otherwise, yes.
Okay, yeah. The most worshipable object is the holy name of Radha and Krishna, the Sri Maha Mantra.
Yes, that is actually so important too. What is the most of all objects of worship? What is the most worshipable? And we could think it could be many things, but Rāmānanda Ray gives us Radha Krishna Nama, the Maha Mantra. Wonderful, very good. And Divya Shakti Devidasi, you just joined us. So we've been going through the questions and answers, and you didn't hear any except the ones we just said. You've read this, certainly, and heard this before, without doing any homework or hearing just now. Can you, Divya Shakti, can you mention one question that Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Ray and Ramananda Ray replied? Means the questions about what is the best of this, best of this. Like that. Yes, Kat, I see you have a question about where to find the questions and answers. I think Govinda Nandini is ever efficient. I think she could probably copy and paste from vedabase.io just the translation of these questions and answers part. Maybe you can compile those together into a sheet. And that would be super for us all, just to do our homework.
Thank you.
Okay. Paramananda Prabhu, ask Divya Shakti Didi a question.
Divya Shakti Didi, can you hear us?
Yes, she can hear you. Ask her a question from Mahaprabhu's question.
Okay, Mahaprabhu, what is the best education?
Out of all education, what education is the best, Divya Shakti? No hiding.
Harinam Sankirtan. Harinam Sankirtan.
Well,
well, it kind of answers that if you elaborate.
Chanting of the Lord's holy names.
No, but education, Divya Shakti. Chanting the holy names of the Lord is a devotional activity, the worship to the Lord, but we're talking about education. Can you think a little bit more?
Education.
Yes. Like so many educations, school, high school, university, different measures to study. What should we study?
Devotional service.
That's it.
Okay,
That's it. You nailed
okay.
it.
Very good, very good.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But you see, some of these things, some of these answers, you know, when we hear the answer, we say, yes, I would have said that answer. But actually, you know, we need these things pointed out to us. And you've heard this before, Divishaki. We've all heard them before. Well, mostly we've all probably heard these before. But
I'm sorry,
it's like,
I'm so late.
and it's
Sorry,
like,
I was just listening to, I was watching you all on in Thailand of Guru Maharaj's disappearance festival just now, and I was like, oh my God, I missed the Back to Bhakti Basics. So I'm sorry. I was listening to you.
all is good, Divya. All is good. No problem at all. We know, out of all of our devotees, we know Divya Shakti, she's going to be doing something devotional. If she's not with us, she's doing something devotional.
No.
Well, but what I was mentioning just then, I mean, many of these, the questions, but then the answers, we think, yes, oh, I would have said that, I would have said that. But really, why is this taking place? And why is it taking place after all of this discussion that's happened before, like very high discussion? Why it's taking place? Because these are the very principal things for us to capture from all of this understanding and what is life all about. And then these are the principal questions to ask. And so Bhagavad Gita, when I first read Bhagavad Gita, after reading one of Srila Prabhupada's books, I read Bhagavad Gita, and it was just so natural, so many of the things in there, but they've never been pointed out before by anybody that I've ever met, you know, in our school or anything like that. But so many things, as the body passes from boyhood to youth to old age, similarly takes another body at death, just as taking new cloth and garment, you know, action and reaction take another body according to your consciousness. So yes, it completely makes sense. But these things need to be told to us, and told to us not just by somebody who's guessing, but by somebody who knows. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna telling, and he knows. And what is this discussion we are having just now? Mahaprabhu making the questions and giving the answers through Rāmānanda Ray. So really, they're very important things for us, a very important section, as are many places important. And today, we've gone through these one line, literally one line question, one line answers. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj.
Yes.
This reminds me of, I'm not sure what the question was asked of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Maybe was, what is the greatest famine? And he responded, there's no famine except lack of Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, he said, I don't recognize any shortage in this world, any lack in this world, except of Hare Katha, talks of Krishna, Krishna consciousness. Yes, something very similar to that. And Paramananda Prabhu joined us a little later on in the program. Maybe you'd like to just add a PS or something, Prabhu. Give us all some good advice at the end of hearing this actually wonderful section. And why am I feeling so exhausted after going through these questions and answers?
You're feeling exhausted?
I'm feeling, whoa, we covered, it feels like we covered a lot of things, even though it's not, I mean, it shouldn't be feeling like that. So I'm giving the microphone to Paramananda Prabhu. He's going to make us Krishna conscious, because today may be our last day. So let's get it right.
Well, I hope it is not our last day. And I have to say, I was happily sleeping in my bed when I heard some sadhu very loudly chanting the glories
where are you
of
sleeping?
Krishna. Right there. So I couldn't sleep anymore. That vibration penetrated my mattress and started vibrating. So I said, oh my God, the sadhu, so much disturbance coming. So I had to get up and join Maharaj and have some Vaishnava association. That's the best thing to do, no doubt about it.
I really think this is a story, because he's
not a story.
He's listening way over there.
Seriously, I can hear the floor vibrating, Maharaj. Seriously, I'm not exaggerating anything.
Hare Krishna.
Such is the power when somebody is chanting the glories of the Lord.
Okay.
The universe is vibrating with that.
Ramananda Ray was chanting the glories of the Lord. We were listening to his chanting.
But then I woke up and I was reading one verse of Rupa Goswami before I went to sleep. And the verse was, Krishna smaram janam chasya prishtam nidja samihitam. And in that verse, Srila Rupa Goswami is giving a perfect advice. He is saying that one must reside in the Braja Bhumi and always remember Krishna. Krishna smaram janam chasya. Always remember Krishna and everyone surrounding Krishna, all his dear servitors. But how to do that in that verse? And I was like, okay, that's easy to say, then what to do? And then Rupa Goswami explains that one should accept a devotee and enter under his eternal guidance. Not just temporary teacher, okay, I will, when I graduate, I will change. No. Eternal guidance. And that devotee, substantial devotee, of course, there's other verses that explain what devotee should be, who is the guru, who is qualified. So that devotee will take you there. And by the association with such devotee, with such sadhu, you will develop a desire to serve Krishna. And that desire will eventually take you to that land. Take you to Braja Bhumi, take you to Goloka. So by the association with the sadhu, by accepting his eternal guidance, we may develop that desire. And without desire, it is impossible to enter. So this is what we should acquire, the lowliam, the burning, the desiring nothing else, only to serve the lotus feet of the divine couple. And that will get us the entrance. Of course, at that time, we will not be thinking, oh, now, did I acquire that? Okay, can I enter? Can I? We're not going to be thinking like that. It will happen naturally. We wouldn't even think about anything else but the lotus feet of the Lord. So that was my evening meditation and then the morning meditation. So I thought, okay, since Maharaj is creating so much auspicious vibration, then I should definitely wake up, brush my teeth, and come over and accept the eternal guidance. Acknowledge the eternal guidance, I would say, because we did accept the eternal guidance, but sometimes we're forgetting about it, so we have to remind ourselves.
Hare Krishna. Well, that fits very much the theme of what we've been hearing from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Ray this morning or this evening, depending on wherever you are. There's no, in the spiritual world, there is no separation of time between past and future, even for a split second. So we shouldn't be saying morning or evening, we should be saying the now. Just see. All right, good devotees, we have a duty to do over here, and I'm sure you've all got your duties to do too. But Govinda Nandini Didi, if you can make available, just like the copy and paste, just one thing of the questions and answers, that would be very helpful for us all. It means that section from the Veda base, but just the questions and answers part. And then if you can let everyone know, maybe for anyone who hasn't gone yet, I will post it. Oh, okay. So I see, if you see the chat box, then please just copy, for all of you devotees, just copy these Facebook groups, back to basics. And I'm not a very good Facebook person, but I'll try to find it there. And then it's going to be helpful for us all to just go through these. Again, it's good if we memorize them, but as we are saying, just to be conscious of them and to hear them. and to hear again and again these good things. It is very good for us all. All right. Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Brinda ki Jai. All the assembled devotees ki Jai. All the unassembled devotees ki Jai. The sun never sets on Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat except when it's cloudy. But the whole of Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat ki Jai. And Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Wonderful. Each and every one of you appreciate your presence with us, and please have successful Seva days until we meet again very soon.
Rupanuga Prabhu, we just remembered you yesterday.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
We're always remembering you, but sometimes specific remembrances.
Extra remembrance.
Extra remembrance.
That's times.
All right, to one and all, our repeated obeisances, wishing you special moments to make up the time till we meet again. Dandavad. Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandavad, dandavad. So please, yes, so please copy anything you need from the chat box, because remember it disappears. And Jai Govinda Nandini Devi Dasi for making all this possible and for looking after us all with this program. Hari, Jai, Jai, Jai.
Jai.